Get our first look at traffic with Kelsey. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Nothing special about what's happening on our roads, I guess. Some construction that threw us off yesterday will probably continue to do the same today. But right now, let's give you a live look outside. Way up here, even west of Rogers, gets started pretty early on. That activity continuing to build, but no major delays to report at all. Highway 10 eastbound, same thing there. Anoka down into Coon Rapids. More and more drivers starting to fill the roads, but still a pretty quiet morning. This is a change up that happened recently, and we want to focus in on it because it did add to the delays on 35W southbound as well as Highway 10, and that is that Highway 10 eastbound is now closed between 35W and County Road 96, so prepare for some delays up here in the Mounds View Shoreview area. I'll give you a closer look at the southern suburbs, which are still fairly quiet at this hour, coming up in about 10 minutes, but right now at 5:39, it's time for weather on the 9s. We're feeling the sunshine out on our Twin Cities streets. Check it out here. This is I-94 at Zane Avenue in both directions here on the interstate. We have traffic building at this hour, but I'm happy to report that at 5:50, there are no active incidents right now, meaning we don't have any major lane closures messing us up and no crashes that are being dealt with. So a nice drive if you're about to head out the door on this Tuesday morning. Let's check out Highway 10. Yesterday things got a little messy here, especially in the eastbound direction. Now Highway 10 is a highly traveled route in the morning, especially eastbound, but you approach that 35W junction and that's where things get a little bit jammed up. But starting just this week, we now have eastbound Highway 10 closed between 35W and County Road 96, and that got things really backed up here yesterday. So far we're free flowing, but you can expect that we're going to see some added congestion here later this morning. This look at 94 and Highway 280, another active construction zone that really got jammed up yesterday, mostly in the westbound direction. Really the only switch up that happened on the I-94 improvement project area is that instead of losing the right lane of traffic, those cones are moved over to the far left lane of traffic, and that was enough to cause some adjustments, and that slowed us down. Now last year, a little trouble over here. 694 westbound slow going as well around Victoria Street, but that's due to the construction zone, so the speed sensors just picking up a few vehicles moving through there at a slow pace. I will be keeping my eye on some of those construction zones today, but so far it's early enough we're not having a lot of trouble, and that is good news. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Crash on our Twin Cities roadways being worked on at this hour. It is on 35W in the southbound direction, just south of Highway 10. So right now we're seeing the jam ups right here at this junction, which is already a pretty busy one in the morning. It's backed up already to Lexington Avenue, so even at 612 we do have some what looks like bumper to bumper conditions here. Let's look now to Highway 52. Here's a construction zone. We're seeing some nice movement despite the fact we are single file here at Butler Avenue on Highway 52. Those of you heading toward the St. Paul area, if you take off early enough, you shouldn't see too many delays, but I do know that you, as a general rule, have to allow a few extra minutes while we're in that single file construction. Here is an area where we have some more construction going on. 94 westbound, slower than usual yesterday as you entered that work zone at Highway 280 due to the fact that we switched things up a bit. The far right lane of traffic used to be the one that was closed. Now they switched it so it's the far left lane. That was enough to get things very bumper to bumper between both the downtowns. There was a time to have that crash. We also have the ramp from 35W northbound onto County Road 10 westbound getting things jammed up a little bit. So a little bit of color right here, but so far, even on the south end of town, things looking pretty good. I'll have another update though coming up in about 10 minutes. Tom, Alex.
We'll see you then.
Good morning, everyone. You're waking up to Tuesday, June 5th, and we're glad you're waking up with us here on the Fox 9 Morning News. I'm Kelsey Sobey. Checking out our roadways out there. We're seeing a lot of sunshine. You can look forward to a beautiful day. And so far, in most areas of the Twin Cities, your drive not too shabby at all. This is a look at 52, a construction zone we like to keep our eye on because it is single file here at Butler Avenue, so we do tend to see some slowdowns, a tight squeeze, some reduced speeds, but overall a pretty typical day down in that area. 35W and Highway 10, though this is not a typical morning. Despite it usually being a busy spot, the congestion got started much earlier than usual. We have a crash near County Road I. That's not helping things. We also have a stalled vehicle on 35W southbound at 694. We also have a few closures. That's so much fun around here. 35W, all the ramps onto County Road 10 are closed. That's contributing to this mess. Also here, in fact, between Lexington and 694 right now, you're looking at about a 25-minute drive. 35E, on the other hand, free and clear if you want to head southbound on that side. Looking at the east side of town, still looking good. 94, not the best situation, but still not bumper to bumper yet. We have a little bit of switch up in the construction there. We haven't lost any more lanes of traffic, but it's just people are adjusting, so expect some slow going conditions in the westbound direction. 627, we've made it to Tuesday in our morning commute today, looking a little bit like yesterday. A few crashes here and there, some construction. Throw it all together and you have some slowdowns here and there. One of those is up here on 35W at Highway 10, some heavier than usual congestion as a result of a crash near County Road I, a stalled vehicle on 35W southbound near 694. And then we have the fact that the County Road 10 ramps are closed. We also have a stretch of Highway 10 closed between 35W and County Road 96, all kind of contributing to these slowdowns. So be prepared. prepared for that. 35E, by the way, is free flowing. This is a peek at a crash on Highway 100 at Humboldt. A nasty camera to look at, but just want to give you a view. It's not looking too good. It looks like enough vehicles on scene that could last a while. This is a little bit clearer of a picture. This is 494 west of Concord Street. We're looking at corridor 494 slowing down a bit as you head in that westbound direction, as well as that other situation we saw. This looks like we have several emergency crews responding, including an ambulance. This could take a little while to get 35 southbound. Just a lot going on up in this region. I'll be detailing how things are shaping up as we get into the heart of rush hour. That'll be coming up when we break into the 7 a.m. hour of the Fox 9 Morning News. Though right now, let's get back over to Tom and Alex.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Zooming out right now on a scene at 35E and Highway 110 that I was afraid was maybe going to get things backed up a little bit. We just saw, though, a stalled vehicle that was being tended to by an emergency vehicle pull away. So not going to be a problem, despite the fact that here at 35E northbound at Highway 110, all those ramps are closed right now. So already a sort of a messy situation. Didn't want to see it get any worse, and it looks like we averted that problem. Let us go to Lexington Avenue. We have a few things going on here. One, we had a crash earlier this morning at County Road I. We also have the ramps from 35W to County Road 10 closed, so some construction just makes things a little bit trickier around here. And also Highway 10 between 35W and County Road 96 is closed, so enough to get things looking a little bit worse in this area than we normally would see it. 35E, by the way, looking great, especially after several months of having single file traffic in that area. Checking out the area you're coming from, you're probably seeing some colors highlighting things, meaning we do have some reduced speeds. We are in the heart of rush hour. A reminder that 94 westbound continues to be slower than usual between the two downtowns. All right, 7:12 now, time to get back to Alex and Tom.
All right, thank you, Kelsey.
Morning News. I'm Kelsey Sobey. Hi there. We're looking at a few situations on our roadways today. They're slowing a few of you down, unfortunately, but for the most of you, you'll be dealing with a typical traffic day with some sunshine. This is Highway 55 and 5. Highway 5 slow going around the airport, so this affects not only those of you who are driving in this area, but also people trying to catch a flight. Make sure you allow for a few extra times getting around the airport. Getting now to 610 and 169. We're seeing some jamming on 610. Now, some reports right now that at East River Road, we have a crash that could be involving up to 7 or 8 vehicles. Now, I don't have a jam cam directly on that site, but you can see already sort of a gridlock here at the junction of 610 and 169, continuing on through that entire stretch to East River Road. So just something to consider as you're heading this way. If you can avoid that highway, maybe not a bad idea until we can get a better grip on exactly what's going down. Spots 1, 610 at East River Road. Prepare for some slowdowns here. Also, Highway 100 around the 694 junction. A report of a crash there as well. 35W southbound slower than usual for a few reasons. One, a crash near County Road I earlier this morning. Plus, we have the County Road 10 ramps closed off. And then Highway 10, that stretch between 35W and County Road 96, has been continually slowing us down a little bit more than we'd like to see. Giving you a glance a little bit farther south, things not looking too shabby, but keep in mind that 94 between the two downtowns is pretty messy today, just like it was yesterday due to construction. We're taking another break from the Fox 9. Hi, you guys. Good morning. We're looking at the roads. We are seeing some nice sunshine out there. That's the bright spot. But we do have a few slow parts of the Twin Cities roadways, and it's just not looking good for some of you. 35W is one of those spots at Highway 10. A few things going on here. One, we now have a crash adding to what was already a slow start for some of you trying to travel southbound on 35W. We also had a crash earlier at County Road I. We had a stalled vehicle near 694. We have the ramps to County Road 10 closed off, and then the closure on Highway 10 between 35W and 96 also just adding to the mess. So be prepared for some slow going conditions. We definitely have things backed up even north now of Lexington Avenue. Looking at 94, here's another construction zone giving us a little trouble this morning. Yesterday we saw that the right lane closure on 94 starting at Highway 280 got switched now to the left lane. That was just enough, whereas drivers are making that adjustment. Things are slow going. So we do have speeds of what you're seeing right now, about 15 to 20 miles per hour at best between the entire stretch of downtown St. Paul and downtown Minneapolis. Now 169 southbound, a highway that likes to react to just about anything you see, even a piece of paper on the side of the road. Well, today we have a crash, so that definitely is going to slow things down. Right now we do have slow going conditions beginning even north of I-94, so something to think. Report of a multi-vehicle crash involving possibly 7 to 8 vehicles. Obviously you have that high number of cars involved, and it's going to take a little bit longer to get all that cleared. 35W definitely jumps out at you. I showed you those in the traffic cameras. Some of the other slow spots, 36 westbound between 35E and 35W, 169 again because of that crash in the New Hope area. 494 southbound traffic pretty heavy. That's pretty typical, especially on the Bass Lake Road area. In the northbound direction, I don't know why our speed sensors are being a little overly active at this hour. 94 westbound coming in clear until you reach about 61. That's where we see some reduced speeds. And again, you're going to see some slower going than usual conditions between 94 westbound between St. Paul and Minneapolis due to that change up in the construction zone. The Southwest Metro not too shabby. 35W northbound pretty typical congestion there. 169 slowdowns begin as far south as Highway 101 and Highway 5 right around the airport. For those of you driving in this area and for those of you who are trying to catch a flight, allow a little extra time because Highway 5 around the airport is reduced to single file in some areas. It is time now to talk about our weather. Another beautiful day. Hi everyone, good morning to you. It is Tuesday, June 5th. You're waking up to a sunshiny day and a morning commute that is pretty typical for some of you, a little jammed up for the rest. Let's look at a few of those trouble spots right now. The crosstown right now, Portland Avenue, a little slower in the eastbound direction than we'd like to see due to a crash here. We see just on the shoulder some flashing lights. We're trying to get that situation taken care of as soon as possible, so hopefully it won't slow too many of you down, but you know the crosstown at this hour is already a really busy place to be. This is 36 westbound at the junction of 35E. A crash here pulled off to the right shoulder, but westbound traffic slow going. I think this basically just pulled off the main line or off into the shoulder, so maybe we'll see these speeds increase a tad. Let's go to a few other spots. FW's had plenty of problems this morning, and among those some construction changes. County Road 10 ramps are closed off of 35W. Highway 10 closed between 35W and 96. A multi-vehicle crash up on 610 looks like it's been cleared. We do have a crash Highway 100 in the southbound direction just south of 94. So we're also just cleared a crash on 169. So a few remaining issues due to some earlier crashes. Hopefully things will continue to improve, and I'll have an update in about 10 minutes. We're taking a quick break right now.
Debate this morning, but yeah, a lot of parents especially we're hesitant to let our kids, because that's an area where
we're trying to get them outside to play.
Yeah,
get outside and play.
And some parents don't understand
like
Facebook well enough to even know what not to allow them to do.
Well, right, and some of the restrictions on who can view the page and who, all of that.
It's changing all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, we love our Facebook here. We're checking out the roadways, and what we will all enjoy is some nice sunshine on our way to work, as Keith has been talking about.
Yeah.
But some of us are at best between the two downtowns. Also a crash reported on 35W southbound at Stinson Boulevard, so that's going to slow your track as you're trying to get into the downtown Minneapolis area. Already a really busy spot in the morning. A reminder that we still have 35E northbound ramps to Highway 110 closed. Also today, the 52 northbound work zone into St. Paul a little bit slower than usual. Typically we see the jam ups right at Butler Avenue, then things loosen up a little bit. Not the case today. You're going to be going slower than you probably like to all the way up till you reach the I-94 junction. Again, 494 westbound, always a busy spot in the morning. The crosstown with that crash cleared. Hopefully we're going to see conditions improve. Going a little farther to the north side of town, a crash on Highway 100 just south of 94 has been slowing things down a little bit up in the Brooklyn Center area. 94 eastbound, still some heavy congestion coming from Rogers into Maple Grove. Overall, though, one of the main trouble spots we've been looking at this morning has been on 35W on the north side of town, due both to a few crashes, stalled vehicles, and then plenty of construction, including some closures of those County Road 10 ramps. All right, it is 8:09, and around here, that means we're talking some weather. Forecast. Thank you, Keith. Hi, everyone. Well, you're going to be seeing the sunshine on your way to work, even though you're probably going inside, not going to feel it so much. We're still dealing with a few traffic jams out there as you make your way to work. 94 is one of those in the eastbound direction. This is up in the Northwest Metro. As you're coming into Maple Grove, you're coming in a little bit slow, especially for 8:30. Crash here is slowing us down as you enter the area of the 494 junction, so be prepared for some late morning delays. 36 westbound still slow going after a crash near 35E was cleared, but not before getting things very backed up. So still expect slow moving conditions westbound through Little Canada and Roseville. 94, now this is more in the central part of our metro as you're going into Minneapolis. Westbound traffic slow here for a few reasons. One, it's a construction zone where we have 3 lanes of traffic instead of 4. Also this week, instead of having the far right lane of traffic closed, it's now the far left. Now it doesn't sound like a big deal, right? But yesterday we did see that it really slowed people down. Right now in between the two downtowns, we're still looking at about a 25 to 30 minute drive time. We'll show you that on a map in just a second. But adding to the mess is a crash as well. State trooper on the scene. Hopefully get that taken care of. Sometimes it's going to be a slow one. Hopefully we'll continue to see things loosening up as we get closer to 9 o'clock. Keep in mind 35E northbound, those ramps to Highway 110 are still closed through Thursday. Also, if you're traveling to the airport today, a reminder that Highway 5 is single file traffic in some areas, definitely adding to the congestion in this area. A crash reported 35W southbound around Washington is slowing people a little bit as you head into the Minneapolis area, especially right now when a lot of you are finally reaching your destination of downtown. 94, as I mentioned, this is slower than usual for this late in the morning, so just want to point that out again. 169 southbound conditions improving after a crash at 36th Avenue was cleared about 30 minutes ago. Might still see some jam ups on Highway 100 southbound after a crash just south of 94 got things really backed up earlier today. 35W northbound finally dying down overall. We are seeing a calming effect, but some hot spots still remain. We'll see things loosen up though within the next 30 minutes. That's it from the world of traffic. So let's get now over to Alex.